I tell him to take his pants off. He doesn't want to do it. I punch him in the face.
I say, what if we rape you right now? How will you like that?
I squeeze his ass cheeks. 2 handfuls.
I say, what if I take this knife and stab it right through your face? I say, will you like that?
They had a knife to my eye and one in my throat right here in my jugular.
So he's scared now when he see this knife.
He started crying and begging and pleading. Mark, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be gay. But at this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm out of control. I don't want to hear nothing, no talk.
And he slap him real hard.
He tenses up. I take my pants off. I mean, he's just sitting here the whole time.
He have sex with him first. Then I have sex with him. Then he have sex with him. I have sex with him. Then he have sex with him. And then that was the end of it.
I go to fucking him. You know what I'm saying? Slowly at first, you know what I'm saying, and try to loosen him up. It was tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was definitely a virgin. He's groaning and, you know what I'm saying, moaning and telling me how it hurts. So, you know, I bag out a little bit. I tell him to put some on his finger. Stick it in his ass and you know what I'm saying, kind of like fuck himself. To loosen himself up. Because I know he had never been penetrated before. It was his first time. At this time, my dog, he at the door. So he's like, man, come on, man, goddamn. Man, I want to get straight too. I said, well, come on. And he shows him no mercy. He fucks him, for real.
So I'm like, in my heart, I'm like, damn, we through. We done got us a rape case.
The more boys that I picked up, the more I wanted. It became a challenge to see a pretty little young boy come in and everybody shooting at him, everybody trying to get him, everybody trying to pull him in. So it became a challenge. It made my dick hard to chase him, to see if I could get him before anyone else. I woke up, first thing I wanted to see was him. Before I went to bed at night, the last thing I wanted to see was him. I love him. After going through this, you know what I'm saying, all these lonely years in here without a woman, you know what I'm saying, standing by my side, I could definitely see being with another man. On the street, I never thought that I would even be with another man, period, in no way. I thought I could love another man or have affection towards another man. But over the years, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, it just, prison turned me out, you know, into sort of a freak.
In the early 2000s, a film crew talked its way inside Limestone Correctional Facility in Harvest, Alabama, and luckily got the kind of access nobody has been given before. They interviewed 5 inmates, and one of them walked that camera straight through his own operation. No lawyer in the room, no hesitation, like he was explaining the job he was proud of. Inmate name, LaMark Moore.
Power and lust get all twisted up together behind bars. In Alabama, Mark had gotten addicted to both.
I like power. Matter of fact, I love power. I love being in control. I love to be the dominant one. You know, and I practice that and enforce that in every relationship that I've been in.
That's a man telling you how his business worked. Now catch what's missing. No knife, no fight, nothing you'd expect from a story like this. Moore's operation ran on something cheaper, quieter, and much harder to see, debt. So before you understand him, you got to understand the economy. You see, Alabama runs the poorest prison system in America, and Limestone is the biggest facility in it.
You know, murdered in Limestone Penitentiary.
Limestone is the largest lockup in the nation's poorest prison system.
Almost nobody in there had money. Families stopped writing, the money ran out, and the state gave you food and clothes. After that, you were on your own.
98% of the inmate population is dirt poor. So there's no such thing as pleasures in prison.
But every prison has a store man who sells things like coffee, soup, cookies, cigarettes. stuff that costs $2 out here can mean everything to a man who has nothing. Cash wasn't allowed, so commissary became the real currency.
Junk food and toiletries from the commissary serve as legal tender in prison. Cash money is illegal, and any item not purchased from the prison store is contraband.
Which means when a man in Limestone was sitting on a box of cookies, he was sitting on a bank. And hey, banks give away nothing for free. So the question was never what things cost in there. Question was the interest rate.
In an Alabama facility, the terms was simple, and every man knew them walking in.
The hustling part is because people don't have any money. This is how the game works. Oh, I ain't got no means of money. I got a box full of candy back there. Cookies, zuzus, and wham-whams is what they call it. I'm gonna loan it to another inmate. I'll let you get a pack of cookies for 2 packs back next week.
1 pack of cookies today meant 2 packs next week. The debt doubled in 7 days, and there was no job inside that paid enough commissary to work it off. But watch what 3 weeks of that does.
He might have borrowed 10 suits and ended up fucking out his ass the rest of his life while he's here on account of 10 suits. Got him that way. Because 10 suits, if you can't pay it this week, it's going to cost you 20 suits next week. And the week after that, it's going to be 40 suits. So sooner or later, the man's going to step to you and tell you, hey, I'm tired of your shit.
3 weeks later, he owed 40. The debt kept doubling every 7 days, and he had nothing left to pay with. Now, the man he owed had 2 choices: beat him over some soup and risk lockup, or collect something worth a lot more. And there was a name for that second option.
Mindy was preyed upon by convicts who used the boo game. The boo game consists of terror tactics and loan sharking to turn a guy out.
One of the first things they're going to throw up is the stuff they've given you. You know, you owe them for that. And then they kind of put the boo down with it, the boo game. And to where you owe them that plus interest, you know.
Fear stacked on interest. First, they made sure you knew what you owed. Then they made sure you knew what happened if you couldn't pay it. By the time you worked out what was actually getting collected, you were already too deep to climb out. But a hustle that predictable doesn't run inside a maximum security prison unless somebody in a uniform lets it.
The crew knew something wasn't right, so they sat down with Limestone's warden and asked him directly about what was happening inside his prison. He didn't deny it. He didn't even downplay it.
This society away from society mirrors the actual society out there. We have religion, we have schools, we have drugs, we have sex, we have all types of vices. And I tell you, I wouldn't want to work in a prison that didn't have some vices in it. And sometimes those things keep them busy. That keeps them out of our hair. Now there again, I don't condone it. And if we catch them, we'll punish them. But I know it goes on, and it probably does have some element of helping us keep control.
Let that sink in. The man in charge of the biggest prison in Alabama sat in front of a camera and told you the underground economy helped him keep control of his population. And crazy enough, it worked. That keeps men busy. Busy men stay quiet. Quiet men are easy to run. So the loan sharks in there were doing a job the state couldn't do for itself. And what they got paid was the right to keep doing it. Limestone needed more and more and more men like LaMark Moore. So what kind of man takes that job?
See, nobody was given rank in Limestone. You earned it through 4 things: your race, your gang, how well you could read people, and how much you controlled. Get enough of all 4, and you stopped watching the yard. The yard started watching you.
They try to get you in a bind.
Race, gang membership, smarts, black market profits all determine who's on top. Mark Moore, serving 20 for a gang shooting, was feared and respected at Limestone Correctional. Mark would become Mindy's man.
20 years for a gang shooting, a blood withstanding, a store, a supply line, and an appetite that grew every time the supply did.
More shit, you know, like coffee and cigarettes, things like of that nature that I got, the more I wanted. The more boys that I picked up, the more I wanted.
Listen to how he counts it. The coffee, the cigarettes, and the men all come out of his mouth on the same breath, on the same list, like he's doing inventory. So when the first one showed up, Moore wasn't looking for company. He was looking for someone he could use. And that first person was David Mendenhall, 19 years old, white, and brand new to prison. Only 15% of the inmates looked like him, and he came in with nobody watching his back. He met Moore on the chain gang in 1998.
I met Mark on the chain gang. I would say it was in 98.
The way in was business, same as it always was. Mendenhall borrowed from Moore, loaned it back out at interest, and paid Moore off. Ordinary commerce right up until it wasn't. Here's how Mendenhall describes what he was in those first days.
I wouldn't talk to him for the first couple of days because I was too scared. But then after that, I kind of loosened up a little bit and I got high with him.
And here's how LaMark Moore described what happened next.
He came to me, Mendy came to me and requested to be with me, you know what I'm saying? Which was rather strange because this was like the first guy that ever pulled up on me and said, hey man, can I be with you? You know, so it was rather shocking.
Same weeks, same two men, both on camera. But whatever really happened between them, one thing is clear, it didn't end there.
What started as business lasted more than 2 years, and somewhere along the way, for at least one of them, it became something more.
We partied together, we had sex together, and you know, we fought together, and we was there for each other.
The relationship that we shared was really like the relationship I had with my child's mother. I mean, we were so compatible. We were, you know what I'm saying? We had so much in common. We developed great feelings for one another.
He put it next to the mother of his child, a man he acquired, measured against the biggest relationship he ever had on the outside, and he says it without flinching.
I woke up, first thing I wanted to see was him. Before I went to bed at night, the last thing I wanted to see was him. I love him.
You know, because as good as he was, he was just, you know, you don't find too many people that's going to be that good to you. Not in this place. So that was something new to me. And that's something I respected.
The film was a word for what happened to Moore in there. It's the same word Limestone used for everything he did to everybody else.
In a sense, Mark had been turned out by his own boy. He fell in love with Mindy, and in prison that made him vulnerable.
Because wanting somebody in that prison was a weakness, and it was a weakness other men could see from across the yard. It told him exactly where to press. Moore had spent years building a position that ran on needing nothing from anybody. So the day he needed Mendenhall was the day it started coming apart. But to understand why family mattered so much to Moore, you have to go back to Pritchett.
Young LaMark Moore grew up just outside Mobile, in one of the poorest places in the state.
I grew up in Pritchett with my grandmother, my mother. Lived there all my life. Slum area, ghetto, full of drugs, prostitution, murders. Basically just a straight ghetto.
His mother signed him over to his great-grandmother when he was small.
Mother signed him over to his great-grandmother, and she had control of him. There was no man in the house for him growing up. So he was around a bunch of ladies.
No father in the house, no uncles either. Just a group of women trying to raise a boy in a neighborhood that was already recruiting him. And eventually, something out there offered him the structure nobody at home could. So he took it.
I didn't grow up with a father or uncles or nothing like that. No father figure. So I looked up to the Bloods as like role model. I joined at a young age. It was more so like a family to me.
A role model, a family. Those are his words for the Bloods. And 20 years later, he's using that same word, family, for 4 men he owned inside a maximum security prison. That's the explanation. Now here's his own blood refusing to accept it.
I got 20 years for it.
LaMark had that charge from the very first day. He made the choice to do what he wanted to do. We never denied him nothing.
He isn't making excuses for him, and he knew him a long time before Limestone did. So set the sympathy down, because Moore wasn't the only man in Limestone with nobody to turn to. And those were exactly the men his operation depended on. Men with no money, no family support, and nobody left on the outside. Limestone produced him by the month.
His family had cut him off. Mail calls came with no letters from home and no money on the books. survival was looking grim.
This is the city's family stopped writing, books went empty, and he's describing the exact condition that entire economy was built to feed on.
When my folks quit looking out for me, I felt betrayed. I felt like I didn't deserve that. I was at my lowest self-esteem, so I had to find a way to pick me back up, make me happy, make the best out of a bad situation. And Mark and Mendenhall, they did that.
Now hear Moore describe the same man from the other side of it.
I turned eye. Basically, he said he wanted someone to be real with him, someone to give him attention and affection. And he seen how I treated Mindy and my other boys, and he just wanted to get in, so he did.
And he isn't lying about what he gave him. The attention was real. The affection was real. That was the whole point of them. But how it got delivered was engineered, and Jerry Gaskins lays out the engineering better than anybody we talked to.
Part of the family now, Eddie was looked after by Mark's gang, especially by an older wheeler dealer, Jerry Gaskins, JG.
I'll make sure he has something to eat every night. I make sure he have something to smoke. I'll make sure he have some coffee. But I'm not never giving it to him directly. He's getting it from one of my boys. And for me, my boys get my boys. You know what I'm saying? They tell them the type of person I am, you know what I'm saying? The benefits that they have being with me.
Never give it to him yourself. Have someone else give it to him so it feels like a favor instead of a loan. By the time he realizes he owes you, he's already been taken from you for months. Then you cut him off.
You know what I'm saying? Now I give him time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? He was getting free dope. He was getting free whiskey. He was eating every night. He was smoking every night. And then he was getting free sex. Now he don't get none of that no more. And to be able to get that, then this is what he got to do.
They know if they could get me and they could invest a little bit, the way the game goes, I owe them then.
Because, I could let them go out and hang out.
Yeah,
Flirt a little bit, and come back with some food, or come back with some cigarettes, or come back with some coffee, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, I need it, you know what I'm saying, to make it through the next day.
It happens all the time. They could pimp me out, and make, triple, make more money like that.
Food, liquor, cigarettes, company, all of it free, right up until the morning it costs. And you can't settle that bill in soup because a man returns triple what a bag of coffee ever did. That's the system, running exactly the way it was designed to run. And every man inside it understood the terms, even when he couldn't say no to them. But the next one was different. This time, Moore didn't work the system. He broke his own rules.
His name was Matt. 19 years old, skinny white dude using drugs and too small to scare anybody. In an Alabama prison, that made him a target almost instantly.
All right, for a white guy to go in the penitentiary, it don't matter if he's fucking rock hard and 300 pounds and it's just whoop everybody in that motherfucker that coming at him with game. For a young white guy like myself that was real skinny and wasn't working out and wasn't real healthy and shit, been doing drugs and shit, it's not just one or two people coming at him. It's just boom, 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 boom. Every 5 minutes, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's constant.
So he did the only thing that works in there. He joined a gang. The Bloods took him in. And in that prison, being a Blood meant hands off. And for a while, it actually held. Here's what Moore felt the day the kid showed up.
So this particular guy was here before. He was a Blood. In Alabama, you know what I'm saying, a lot of places, you know what I'm saying, they don't believe in a white guy being a Blood.
That situation there was really fucked up. The guy, he was a Blood, true enough. When I arrived at the prison, I was introduced to him. I had feelings for him, lust.
It was lust at first sight, but Moore backed off. Not because he felt sorry for him, but because the kid was a Blood. And the older members had already warned Moore and Gaskins about going after their own people. So for a while, that protection worked until the kid gave them a reason to take it away.
It was football season, and every motherfucker in prison gonna watch football.
A lot of satanic stuff on the wall inside one of the dorms here.
The captain and the lieutenant, they come around to do daily inspections of the whole dorm. So they go in the closet and they see all this shit painted on the wall and they go off. I mean, they have a fit. Until we find out who vandalized his room, won't be no football.
But he's a blood, so nobody can't go cludge him out.
Another blood come to me, say, hey man, you know who put that shit in that room? I said, nah, who? So he tells me, he say, Blood did it, the little white boy. So I'm like, what?
They found satanic graffiti in a dorm closet, and the captain wanted to know who did it. Matt had painted it. That put every blood on the compound at risk of a shakedown. It stripped Matt of the protection keeping him safe. Moore didn't confront him angry. He just walked him around the yard and talked to him.
Once again, Mark seized the opportunity to begin his mind games.
I walk him around the prison compound. We talk. I basically let him know, you know what I'm saying, how I had felt betrayed by what he did. Basically, I just made him feel guilty. I started to put my plan into making. So I let him know that I want him to be with me. I let him know that I want to have sex with. I let him know I want to lay with.
He admits it on camera. He made Matt feel guilty on purpose, and that's when the plan started. He told Matt what he wanted, waited until later, got drunk, and then sent for him.
What if we rape you right now? How will you like that?
He started crying and begging and pleading. You know what I'm saying? Mark, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be gay. I don't want to.
What happened in that cell over the next hour, LaMark Moore describes on camera in detail, and it's pretty fucking disturbing and dehumanizing.
Been drinking, been smoking some reefer or whatever, and I go to my little brother's cell, or I call him my little brother Mark.
This is my righteous dog, you know what I'm saying? He comes in.
So I asked him, I said, man, you know what you did could have got a lot of people messed up. So he like, yeah.
He doesn't make it any better. He jumps right in.
I said, what if we rape you right now? How will you like that?
He started crying and begging and pleading. You know what I'm saying? Mark, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be gay. I don't want to. But at this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm out of control. I don't want to hear nothing, no talk.
My little brother, he jump up and he slap him real hard. And he done got serious because he really wanted to be with this person all alone.
I tell him to turn around. So he turns, he moves slightly. I tell him to turn around again. He still doesn't want to turn all the way around. So I said, bitch, if I have to tell you to turn around one more time, I'll break your jaw. So he turns around.
Like put his hands against the wall, like spread them like the police will make you spread.
I tell him to take his pants off. He doesn't want to do it. I punch him in the face. You know what I'm saying? I squeeze his ass cheeks. 2 handfuls. He tenses up. You know. So I take my pants off. I mean, he's just sitting here the whole time. I had a pair of red and white Jordan with some red shoestrings. So I ain't got nothing on but these tennis shoes and my undershort. I give him the grease. And I tell him to put some on his finger. Stick it in his ass and you know what I'm saying, kind of like fuck himself. To loosen himself up. Because I know he had never been penetrated before. It was his first time. Just an old penitentiary trick that I learned from some old convicts. If he screamed rape, you know what I'm saying, he had grease under his fingernail. So he greased his own self up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna basically lie and tell him I've been fucking him. He's been my boy. Hell, they gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'm gonna go to the extreme and get 4 or 5 other guys that lie and say I've been fucking him too, been taken care of. He's been my boy.
But I said, what if I take this knife and stab it right through your face? I said, will you like that? So he's scared now when he see this knife. You know what I'm saying?
They had a knife to my eye and one in my throat right here in my jugular. And I'm telling you, I could just feel them, you know, sticking me. And if they put any pressure on, it's gonna cut me wide open, you know?
I go to fucking him. You know what I'm saying? Slowly at first, you know what I'm saying, and try to loosen him up. It was tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was definitely a virgin. He's groaning and, you know what I'm saying, moaning and telling me how it hurts. So, you know, I bag out a little bit. At this time, my dog, he at the door. You know what I'm saying? He's standing in front of the cell. So he's like, man, come on, man, goddamn. Hurry up, man, I want to get straight too. I said, well, come on. I get up off of him.
I'm in the middle of it now. I'm there, so I can't welch out now. You know what I'm saying? I got to go through with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like stuck there in here with him.
He greases himself up. He shows him no mercy. He fucks him for real. You know what I'm saying? So I had to tell him, hold up, man. You know, slow down, chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to hurt him for real. You know what I'm saying? And he had to go to the hospital, and you know what I'm saying? He's gonna automatically have to say what happened.
He have sex with him first. Then I have sex with him. Then he have sex with him. I have sex with him. Then he have sex with him. And then that was the end of it.
So I didn't finish it first. You know what I'm saying? So I fucking, I come off. I get my due. Next day, you know what I'm saying? He goes to SEG. In prison, that's lockup.
So I'm like, in my heart, I'm like, damn, we through. We done got us a rape case.
They was telling me bullshit about, like, you know, if you get in trouble, so we're gonna go up there and lie and say you brought it on yourself and shit like that. And I was believing them. They had me in a position where they had me spooked. You know what I mean? Because I was looking to make parole and everything, and I wasn't trying to get in no conflict.
I say, you got two choices. You can either be with me, or you can go pack your shit and go tell them folks to lock you up. You go back to lockup.
Reluctantly, Matt agreed to become another one of Mark's boys.
Only thing I ask of you, don't try to make me be like a sissy, a girl inside of prison. We hook up, you know what I'm saying? Everything was lovey-dovey, you know what I'm saying? Relationship was gravy, all good. I transferred.
The warden had Mark shipped out of Limestone again, but everyone knew Matt had been turned out. The other men all wanted their shot.
And he got this other dude, you know what I'm saying? He wound up having sex with him. He was doing so bad. So he wound up selling him to another dude, and that dude wound up selling him to another dude. And all this, what he was going through, was a result, because nobody messed with him. He was a blood.
He just went crazy. He just went to sleeping with different guys. I mean, just tossing the ass up, you know what I'm saying? Letting everybody fuck.
It was just something that happened in the penitentiary that I left in the penitentiary. I mean, even the girl I got now, I mean, she's a fucking fox. I can't lose her about some humbug shit, you know? I mean, if I can keep it from my family I done 4.5 years, and then now I'm out 6 months and they still don't have any idea, I don't think it'll be a problem. And they ask me questions all the time. Well, how was college like and shit? I guess the penitentiary made me a real good liar.
19-year-old white guy and two black booty bandits assaulted him over the course of one night. By morning, he had one decision left, and Moore made sure he understood both sides of it.
I say, you got two choices. You can either be with me, or you can go pack your shit and go tell them folks to lock you up.
Speak up and go to lockup. Lose your parole and carry the word snitch through every prison in the state for the rest of your bid, or stay quiet and stay. He was up for parole, so he stayed. But it was already gone. Every man on that compound knew what had happened by then, and the protection that had kept him off him for 2 years was the exact thing Moore took.
But everyone knew Matt had been turned out. The other men all wanted their shot.
And he got this other dude, you know what I'm saying? He wound up having sex with him. He was doing so bad. So he wound up selling him to another dude, and that dude wound up selling him to another dude.
Sold to one man, then sold to another, then sold to another, and it kept going on and on and on.
The penitentiary made me a real good liar.
If he stayed gone for 5-6 years or whatever, if he ever come back to prison and there's someone in prison that remember him from then, he will always be a boy.
Moore never caught a charge for any of it. What finally ended his run was paperwork.
When Mark got transferred out of Limestone, the family began to crumble from harassment by guards and other inmates, jealousy, and a little too much living it up.
I went to lockup, and I stayed 33 days. And Mendenhall, by the time I come out, he had hooked up with somebody else. He always worried about him. when he was gonna get high the next time.
Moore spent 33 days in lockup. By the time he got out, Mendenhall moved on to someone else. Turns out you can't run an empire from another dorm.
More boys, it brought me more money. You know what I'm saying? So it brought me more trouble.
It basically just turned into something really too stressful for me.
And when it came apart the way a business does, because the prison had a procedure for exactly this.
They call you to the shift commander's office, and if they didn't feel like we could live together, they would move one of us to another dorm. All the cookies and coffee and cigarettes we had, they would divide it 50-50. They call it a divorce court and tell us you go your way and he go his way.
Staff called them into the office, sat them down, and split the coffee and the cookies 50-50. The same administration that officially didn't recognize a single one of these relationships had a working process for dissolving one and dividing up what was left. Divorce court, that's what the guards called it.
In order for a boy to leave me, or the person I was with to leave me, you know what I'm saying, they had to give me back everything that I ever gave them. You know what I'm saying? If they couldn't give me back what belonged to me, then I was gonna sell them, or they wasn't going anywhere until I got my money.
He wanted every piece of his inventory back, and if he couldn't get it, he'd sell Mendenhall to make up the difference. 2 years of what he called love reduced to a balance sheet. And by then, Moore barely remembered what normal life looked like. Somewhere in all those years, Moore stopped measuring his life against the world out here.
After a while, you get used to it. Once you start something in here, you don't change it. And they don't too easily let you do that. Once you're one way, you're always that way.
It's sad to say, but at one point, I stopped caring about the outside. As long as I had a boy, as long as I had plenty of prison money, I was, institutionalized.
The film ends with an update on where everyone ended up 1 year later.
Maximum security facility. Mark is in a monogamous relationship and he quit the Bloods. Eddie became a full-blown sissy a year after the filming. Mindy is alone in a drug treatment dorm. Hip's mom visits just about every Sunday.
Gaskins was sent to maximum security. Moore left the Bloods and stayed with one partner. David Mendenhall ended up alone in a drug treatment dorm. Then, the film asks Moore one final question. How does he explain the man he became?
After going through this, you know what I'm saying, all these long, lonely years in here without a woman, you know what I'm saying, standing by my side, I could definitely see being with another man. On the street, I never thought that I would even be with another man, period, in no way. I thought I could love another man or have affection towards another man. But over the years, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, it just, prison turned me out, into sort of a freak.
Prison turned me out. He's describing himself with the exact same phrase the prison used for every man he ever raped. And here's the ugly part. He isn't entirely wrong. Pritchard produced him. Limestone put him to work. A warden sat in front of that camera and said the vice helped him keep control of his population, and LaMark Moore was the vice. With a state that runs the poorest prison system in America, and then lets the men inside build their own economy because it's cheaper than building one for them, doesn't get to act shocked at what that economy ends up trading in. Limestone Correctional Facility is still open today, still the biggest prison in Alabama, still full of predators like LaMark. Like this video so we save more men in Alabama prison.